That's the microphone or the sound I want to turn down. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to live stream for this week, April 2nd, 2023. Good to see folks on here. And we have Teresa and Dennis in the chat room helping us out. So we're here, folks. If you've been to the show before, you know what happens. Basically, my name is Dr. Selfridge, and I'm here to answer questions and play some songs for you. If you're learning about a musical instrument, make sure you let me know if you have a question in the chat. First of all, put all the questions you want in the chat. Let me know who you are and what instrument you play, and a question or two. And we also do, I'll play some songs. You can put a request in. I try to do some requests and things like that. So make sure you say hello in the chat. Even if you don't have a question, say hello in the chat. Tell me how your week was. What's new and exciting in my neck of the woods? Let's see here. Okay, a lot of things. So starting on Monday, I have my spring break from school, which is going to be really nice. This is a week to kind of relax. It's been very busy at school. What did we have this weekend? On Saturday, at our high school, we hosted a all-day event called a indoor color guard and drumline show, which is basically a competitive event where schools can sign up to bring their indoor drum lines and their indoor color guards to do their show. We have judges there who give the students a score based on all kinds of different criteria of music and technique and choreography and things like that. And the students work towards improving their show over the course of a season. And so it was a big event at our school. We had a lot of people there, probably 30 to 40 different schools came through with their ensembles. And just a lot of organizing, and we had a lot of volunteers there. It was a lot of fun. So, what else has been going on? What else? I've been so busy. Our jazz band. I teach high school jazz band as well. We had a trip this week. We went to a jazz festival in Reading, Pennsylvania. It was the Berks Jazz Fest. And it was our final sort of competitive performance for jazz band, and we got to see a lot of other bands, and we got to meet some really great professional jazz musicians. It was a really cool experience. So I'm going to say hello to some people here in the chat and answer some questions. Here we go. All right. So here we go. From our friend Leonardo is asking, I'm having trouble getting the note E on the clarinet, third line above the music staff. Okay, so I think you might have had this question, or I might have talked about this last week, Leonardo. So getting high notes on the clarinet, let me give you a few tips, okay? So let me talk about the first tip I have is make sure what I'm doing right now, make sure you have a reed that works well for you, and make sure it's lined up nice and straight. So the tip of the reed is lined up with the top of the mouthpiece. Your ligature is on correctly. Your clarinet's working properly. So, but those high notes can be tricky. There's my high C, and then I go to a high D. And here's the note that you said you're having trouble with. So the fingering is thumb, register key. You're not going to press down your first finger. You press down your second and third finger. And that's it, right? And then your right hand pinky presses the E flat key. A lot of our altissimo notes on the clarinet use this key right here. It kind of helps to tune the note and let the note pop out a little bit easier. So that's a high E. So the thing about high notes on the clarinet, I've talked about this on saxophone, you're basically doing a controlled squeak, because when we play a note, we have our fundamental note that we hear, and then we have these higher notes called overtones, which is essentially what our altissimo is. It's a controlled squeak of a higher overtone of the note. So what has a lot to do with it is our reed, our embouchure, and also the voicing inside your mouth. So with your tongue, try shaping your tongue as if you're, like, say the sound E. When you say E, the back of your tongue kind of arches, and makes like, I describe it like a sliding board or like a water slide like this. So E, that sends your air in a different sort of trajectory or motion, which helps you to get the higher altissimo notes. Okay, so shh, like your tongue is doing that E shape. Shh. So try that and see if it helps. Let me know how that's going. Okay, Leonardo? Cool. Let's say hello to some more people and answer some more questions. Where do I want to go? Oh, over here. Oops. So Ninja Kid says hello, hi to you, and also says happy April. Happy April to you. It's starting to feel a little bit like spring. Jay Brooks is saying hey, hi Jay. And Leonardo said hello, and Ninja Kid said April. Yes, happy April. So we are, speaking of April, weather's starting to get hopefully a little bit warmer. And we're going to have Easter next Sunday. So I'm actually not going to be on next Sunday. So just so you're aware of that, those of you that are here every week. Let me, you know what, while I'm waiting for some more questions, let me say hello to our good friend Dennis, who is back. Hello, Dennis.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. Good to have you here.
Always.
Yes. And before the show started, we were talking a little bit about the Shakespeare show that what was your role in that? Were you sort of a consultant or a producer or a co-director?
No. My job actually was good for me because it was a dramaturge, which the person who provides some of the background for the show, and you'll see more and more of that in professional shows.
What was the term?
Dramaturgy.
Okay.
And the other thing was I worked with language, since it's a Shakespearean play, and we talked about how trying to get them the actors to not just say words, but to say sentences and paragraphs, the meaning the same way it would be if it weren't Shakespearean language. Shakespeare's no big change. It's not hard to do if you just stop thinking about it as poetry and start thinking about it as prose.
Yeah. I was telling you this, that I think it's probably a pretty common, it's no big discovery that I'm saying here, but I find when I'm listening to Shakespeare that's delivered really well, it's so much easier to comprehend rather than reading it off the page. And that's the skill that it takes, I guess, to be a great actor for that. And I also was thinking, as I was watching it, I have the same thoughts when we're playing a piece of band music or a piece of orchestra music that was written in 1940 or 1840.
Right.
And just thinking how cool it is that these are the exact same, in music case, it's the exact same notes and rhythms that were being played 200 years ago, and we're just reproducing them now. It's kind of the same thing with Shakespeare. It's the same words.
Oh yeah.
I think that's really cool. And that's what
one of the things that makes him so great is the fact that there's so much truth in what he's saying.
Yeah.
Every one of his plays has a truth that's built around it, and this one had to do with marriage and deceit and all these other kinds of things that we have today.
Yeah. Many things have changed, but many things have stayed the same,
Many. Yep.
So good to have you back, Dennis. I'm going to go back to our comments here. We got some more people coming in on the chat. So our friend here says, hello all. I played my first wedding violin a couple years last Saturday. I came back from a serious hand injury. I've been satisfying my musical need with trumpet. It's great to be back. So yeah, with I totally understand what you're saying there. So first of all, I actually had a hand injury on the same hand as you. So I'm assuming it was your left hand that you had the injury. Did you say that? No, I assume it's your left hand, because on violin, you would use many of you probably know, you use your left hand to change the notes, and your right hand is the bow. But if you play trumpet, your right hand is the valves, so you don't really need to be dexterous on your left hand. So anyway, that was a good way for you to pass the time while your hand healed. Not a couple years ago, last year-ish, I injured, I don't know if you guys remember, I was in a cast for a little while. I played in our high school student faculty basketball game as a fundraiser, and I broke my wrist, and that really put me out of commission for a while. Oh yeah, you guys I did a couple of videos where I could barely play, with my left hand. So I'm Frag Man. I'm glad to hear that you're back. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Oh, I do see you have a question. Let's go to Ninja Kid's request. Kanye West, Jesus Walks on Flute Clean. Okay, let me look that one up. All right. And I will also get to see these other questions and other requests. Okay, let me just go right to the request. So let me look this up. I have to change over this, and I have to go to here. All right, so whenever, as you guys know, when I'm doing, there we go. When I get a request, especially because I don't know this song, I go on Google. Or, well, I guess it is Google because Google owns YouTube now. But I go to YouTube and I find the song. So what I'm looking for when I'm trying to figure out a song like Kanye West is more, I guess you might call it a hip hop genre, rap, you know, I'm not sure what genre you want to call it. What I'm listening for. Okay, so I'm listening for, even though in a rap song or a hip hop song, there's a lot of it is sort of rapping. And when you rap, I mean, there's melodic ups and downs to the voice when you, just like when you speak, but there's not really a musical tune in the rapping, right? But you can get usually a musical tune either from the bass line, or there might be some sort of repetitive phrase, that the musical bit that's going on behind. So already I heard something like doo 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 doo. So that might be what I can teach you, unless there's a specific musical line that's in here. But let me listen. Boom. It's B flat. That's a good key. Okay, so basically what you got is you've got bump, bump, bump. You got this thing, this B flat going, okay, to E flat. Let me show you here. So that melody da, is minor. It's a minor third. Okay, my ear deceived me there for a second. That's what we got. Okay, so it's like you're in E flat minor, but it's starting on the fifth. Okay. All right, let me listen to this a little bit more and get that on the flute for you, okay? Okay, and then the voice are going bop, bop, bop. Okay, so you got. I'll teach you that on the flute. So that is G flat, or you might call it F sharp, but in this case it would be called G flat because we're in E flat minor. Pretty much like that. Let me pick that out again here. So what I'm teaching you is, or what I'm listening for, is that choir voice, the vocals going doo doo doo. All right, I got to pick out what they do though. Bum 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 bum. Here it comes. Yeah. Da 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 da. Okay. That's what it is. Ah. There you go. There's a little bit of Kanye on the flute. Who would have guessed? All right, let's go to some more questions and requests. Comments, questions, requests. Here we go. So Fragment is saying, do I have a go-to etude lesson plan for trombone? That's my next challenge. You know who is my trombone expert friend, Mr. Olson, who's in a couple of my videos. He's also my colleague at school. Etude lesson plan for trombone. I really don't know if I have. It would depend on what your current level is, because you said you play violin, you play some trumpet. So what is your current level on trombone? Are you a beginner? Are you someone who knows some notes? So I can maybe give you some recommendations, but I probably will be, like for trombone etudes, I could look some up for you, like Google it for you and give you some recommendations. Okay. Stairway to Heaven on the flute. Cool. And this is one that I bet, I'm going to do this one next. This is one that I'm pretty sure that if I go to YouTube, Stairway, let me show you what I'm doing here. So Stairway to Heaven, but I'm going to put in flute. I'm going to put in flute sheet music, and I'm going to guess that there's something on. Yep. So let's see how to play. Oh, Flutorials. This is a good channel. They give you kind of like. Let's look at this. Here we go. So it starts with a slower version, and they actually show you the fingers to press down. I'm going to skip to the play along, which is going to be faster, more up to tempo. Here we go. So that's all they have for this particular tutorial. And actually, I kind of like that. I mean, obviously, it would be fun to play more of it. But I like this as a beginner tutorial because, when I'm looking for songs to teach, when I was teaching beginner band more, like now I teach high school band most of the day. But I always was looking for songs that would be within, a pretty accessible range for beginners, but also very recognizable. And this is a great one because it's all like a 5-note C minor scale with one extra note down at the bottom. Cool. So that was a really great recommendation. Introduced me to that tutorial. So thank you for that. Let's do some more questions and comments. And if you are just joining us, make sure you pop into the chat and say hello and ask me a question, or just tell me how you're doing. Okay. Oh, we have to go back to Fragman's beginner. Oh, down here it says, I can make music but don't read the notes. Okay. So what I would recommend for you is, there are a lot of really great musicians who do really amazing things who did not ever learn how to read music, and that's totally fine. But I do think that spending some time just making yourself get used to reading music, it just opens up new opportunities for you. So I would say as a beginner on trombone, I don't know about a beginner. Yeah, someone who's relatively beginner to trombone, and also with reading music when it comes to like, oops, let me turn this off. When it comes to like suggesting an etude, right? Because if you don't really read music that much, you'd want to start with an etude is written sheet music. You'd want to start with something relatively beginner. Have you seen my beginner band tunes packet? So drselfridgemusic.com. Let me show you where I'm at here. Here we go. So what you'd want to go for is, well, there's two recommendations. So there's a free beginner band book on my website. I didn't write the book, okay? So I want to give full credit to this great band director in California who created this book and gave me permission to post it here and has it out there for free for anyone to download. So a beginner band book is just a great way to go because I'm gonna zoom in here, and we're gonna grab the trombone link there, okay? And what's great about this is it just takes you step by step. Here's some like the beginner. This is like the beginning, I should say. This is like a little way to kind of motivate yourself to move through the book. There's some rhythms. We'll skip after these little practice rhythms. They're good to do. Get to know how to read your rhythms. But here we go, like first page. Like it just takes you through each note that you need to learn, shows you what it looks like, shows you the name of it, and you just, getting good at reading music is simply, it can be a little bit boring at times, but you just have to it's just daily repetition. That's all it is. So working your way through this book, learning some notes, and eventually getting to some songs. Once you get to like 3 or 4 notes, the 3-4 basic notes, then you could go and do something like my band tunes right here. And so you go to beginner band tunes and you could play some songs like Shark Attack, Hot Cross Buns. Now this might, again, I don't know how much you're looking to challenge yourself right now. We Will Rock You, that's a good one. Okay, so there is a little bit of a suggestion for you to get started. Okay, woo, let's go back here. All right, so let's go to, let's go back to the chat. Okay, so it's some more requests. Oh, Yellow Submarine by the Beatles. That's another good one that I bet there's a tutorial online. Okay, Joe is checking in and saying hello. Hello to Joe. And then we have another request, Bruno Mars. I like those. I like Bruno Mars. Let's do Yellow Submarine by the Beatles. This is another one that I bet we can find a tutorial on YouTube. So let's do it. So we're going to do, did you say flute? I think you said flute. Yellow Submarine. Flute sheet music. All right. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so let me show you what I'm looking at here, folks. So we have, I'm scrolling through a couple of options here, right? So this is for flute. This is for recorder. Even though it's recorder, I could play it on the flute. Same key. Here's another one. Parts and sheet music. This one's got a cool cover there. Oh, look at this person. Flight of the Bumblebee. Let's do... Okay, let's go up here. This one looks promising. Let's check it out. See if I like the music. Oh, I turned my sound down? No. Okay. Okay, it's got the flute in there. So this is very interesting because this was created by someone. Artelajandra. I don't know if this is Brazil or where this is, but you know, you see how they use the si, do, re, si. You know, si means something different in English. Si is a sharp sol. But I'm just going to not pay attention to those. That's interesting, but I don't understand what those mean. I'm just going to read the notes. B, C, D. We're in G major. All right, here we go. Playing this on the flute. That's what I'm going to do. Come here. Okay, here we go. It goes on from there, but I think that's enough for right now. Cool. So another great request. Thank you for that request. Let's do some more questions and requests. A lot of requests today, which is great. Allie says hi. Hi, Allie. Wow. Okay, great. So I'm glad that was helpful. For the trombone, for Fragment 2. Allie wants Living on a Prayer on the flute. Okay, so I am going to get back to, what was that other request from Ninja Kid? So Ninja Kid, I'm going to come back to your Bruno Mars request, okay? But I'm going to do Allie's Living on a Prayer right now. Okay, so let's find it. And all I do, as you know, is I'm going to leave the flute sheet music. Living on a Prayer. Let's see if we find something. All right, so here we go. Living on a Prayer, flute, chords, and vocals. Sheet music, chords, and vocals. Flute or violin. Let's see. Let's go by views here. That might help. Ooh. See, the cover art really kind of gets me in there. Let's just do the first one. See what we get. All right, piano. All right, I'm just curious. I'm curious if we go back, if we get piano accompaniment on all of these. Let me see what this one is. All right, I'm going to go back. Let's go back. That other one had a kind of a clearer sound for me. Here we go. A lot of rests. It's the whole introduction. It's in E minor. Okay, here we go. fix these page turns. I'm gonna do a little bit more of this. This is fun. Oh. Nice. Okay. Well, that was a cool request. Haven't heard that song in a little while. Let's go back to some more questions. Oh, I have, I did promise to do, Ninja Kid, this one. So let me do that one next. Let me see if I have any questions. Let's see. Hold on. Why is my scroller is not scrolling? There we go. It's kind of stuck. Yeah, I want to say hi to Morphin Ferreira. Thank you for being here. And Morphin says, nice bass in this song. Yes. And Shane is here. Hi, Shane. Good to see you. All right, so let me go ahead and do Ninja Kid's request. But I want to also give a congratulations to Shane. Shane says that he got 95 out of 100 full marks in all of his pieces. I'm not surprised by that, Shane. From having you on the show and hearing the stuff you're working on and how much you're practicing, that's really awesome. So congratulations, everyone! Give thumbs up, high five to Shane in the chat for doing so well on his grade 7 evaluation there. Let's do. I don't know why my chat keeps kind of getting stuck here. Let's go to our request. I can't get back to it. What's going on? Anyway, I can't get back to the request, but it was. Oh, there we go. Finally. Smoking Out the Window by Bruno Mars. Okay, let's try that. I have to go back to YouTube. I have to turn off my screen here. There we go. And I don't know if you said, did you say what instrument? Excuse me. I've been getting a lot of clarinet or flute requests, which I'm fine with that. Smoking Out the Window. Clean. Thank you for letting me know that, as I've talked to you guys about, like, sometimes with current songs, you have to kind of, be aware that there's sometimes some language and stuff used that's not really good for use in school or education. So I try to always use the clean versions if I need to. All right, here we go. Let's give this a listen.
Wait a minute, this love started off so tender, so sweet. But now she got me smoking out the window.
Da, 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 da.
Must have spent 45,000 up in Tiffany's. Oh no! Got a bad and kids running around my whole crib like it's Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, so here we got a song that is not in the sort of hip hop or rap genre. This is more in, what would you call this? Modern R&B, sort of smooth funk, kind of retro. Anyway, this when you have a song like this where you've got a verse and a chorus, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of listen to this is the verse, you know, kind of where they're telling the story, and then there's the chorus, which is the sort of the really catchy part, the repetitive part that sometimes people call the hook. So let me listen. Find the key. Okay, there it is. So that's the name of the song. That helps you recognize that it's the hook. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna play that little lick for you. Ba, 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 da, da. Ba, ba, da, da. All right, so that is A on a flute. A, F sharp, A, B, F sharp. Okay. A, F sharp. Let me go back here so you can see real close up. A, F sharp, A, B, F sharp. Listen a little bit more. Okay, so that part. So let me explain here. No. So I got that part, and then there's this part where he's like, the solo vocal is filling in the middle. We're gonna leave that out. This part, that part, singing. Singing high. That's like the taunt. That's like the minor triad. So let's just leave it there. But that's the main hook. I'm gonna play along with it. All right, then it goes on to something. Whoop, my echo is on there. Then it goes on to something a little different. But there's the beginning of it. Okay, so there's a little bit of that song. That's a cool song. This whole album, I recognize. I think "Leave the Door Open" is it on the same album? Really good music there. Okay, more questions and requests. So please say hello in the chat. Let me know what your questions are or your requests. Leonardo wants "Love Me Do" by the Beatles. We can do that. Maroon 5. Okay. Tancho Mason. Okay, let's go to Mason's request. Tancho. Okay, I don't know this. So Mason is asking for this song and also Imperium. I know Imperium is a band piece because I've played it with my students. I really like that piece. Is Tancho, is that also a band song? Because those can be a little bit harder for me to do because they are band arrangements and you can't always find them online. Let me see. Tancho. Yeah, oh, it's by Randall Standridge. Okay, look what I found. So for these more here we go, let me do this here. For these pieces that have been around, or not, pieces that are a little bit newer, you can find sometimes the publisher will put the full score online so music teachers can listen to it and sort of decide if they want to choose that song for their concerts. So here's the score. This is what your music teacher looks at when they're directing your band rehearsal or orchestra. Okay, so I can play along with this. I just have to zoom in to see the clarinets. So here's the clarinet part. There's the clarinet 1 part, clarinet 2 parts. So I'm going to take this back to the beginning, and I'm going to play on clarinet. I'll play, maybe not the whole thing, but let's get something going here. Okay. Here we go. Tencho Zuru. Never played this before. Whoops. I take this back. There's no count in, so I have to just kind of jump in. Two, three. Oh. Okay. All right. Hold the phone here. All right, so I zoomed in too far, and when it opens up like this, I can't see. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to take it back to the beginning. Here we go. All right, here, measure 5. Page turn. Measure 9. 4. 1, 2, 3. Flat. This is a cool song. 1, 2, 3. It's my eyes, it's so small I'm missing some notes. But that's a cool song, Tencho Zuru. So that was a request from, who was that from? Mason. All right, Mason, so are you playing those songs in your concert coming up? Let me do oh yeah, let's do this one. Leonardo, you're good with a lot of requests. All right, you got some good requests. I think I'm going to skip to this one. And Morphin, I will get to your request next, but I want to do this one. This is Yesterday by the Beatles. Okay, so good request that I'm kind of in the mood to play right now. Yesterday by the Beatles, and I am fairly confident that if I go to YouTube and I type in Yesterday Beatles Alto Sax sheet music. See? Some of these really popular songs, you're almost guaranteed to find a play along. Look at this. Free score. Fabio Marziali. He looks like he's playing along with it, though. Let's go here. See what this is like. Okay. It's a nice song. I'm going to pause it. So one thing that's interesting about this song, when you play it in the original key of concert F major, which is D major, for alto sax, it puts the alto sax in a little bit of an awkward spot, because you can either play it all low, and then it gets kind of low for the alto sax, because they got that low B. I mean, it's not impossible to play. You can play it, but it doesn't sing out quite as well. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do it all in a high octave, and it gets a little bit high, but you have to be careful with it and really don't overplay it or squeak it or anything like that. Here we go. So I'm now going to do this in my preferred higher octave. So everything you see, I'm going to be doing an octave higher. Let me go back to small. I'll leave it like this. You guys are going to miss some of the notes here, but here we go. Octave higher. Actually pause it there. You saw me when I was trying to play. I was like holding my saxophone kind of awkwardly. My saxophone neck strap is somewhere around here, but it's not handy. And you can see even I don't even really love playing this on alto that much because it gets up, it kind of hangs really high in the alto. This sits really well on tenor. That's why one reason that people like to play different types of saxophones: alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, soprano saxophone, bari sax, because different songs kind of sit differently on different instruments. Okay, guys, we are moving right along. A lot of great requests, a lot of great questions, and we have about 10 minutes or so. So let's see what else we have here. Questions, comments. Oh, I have to go back and do Morphin's request here. Time of Our Lives by Ahmed Chowki. I do not know this song. I'm going to copy and paste this into YouTube. All right, here we go. Give it a little listen here. Time of Our Lives. The new song for me. Ooh. Okay, so this one is going to be fairly straightforward to do pretty quickly because it's a really catchy tune, and right from the beginning, you hear the main hook of the song, which repeats over and over again. So, and you ask the keyboard part, so it is like this sort of organ accordion sound at the beginning. What key are we in? Yeah, G major. Okay, so we're going to do G major. And I'll show you on my piano what I'm doing, but let me figure it out first. Okay, cool. So right here, let me get my overhead camera. There we go. So we're in G major. Oh no, we're in C. Ah, what key are we in? Oh, we're in E minor, which is basically G major. So, or is it? Oh, we're in B minor. Oh my goodness. Where's it go next? I'll figure out the chords too. G major. What happens there? Okay, I got it. Oh my goodness. All right, so it starts in B minor. That's what it is. You know what's interesting? So here's the melody, by the way, before I tell my little story. So you got that's what it is. But anyway, the story I was going to say is what's really kind of cool about this. This is a really catchy chord progression of 4 chords. And we've been talking about this in my music theory class. Really catchy songs, a lot of times, have pretty straightforward chord progressions and sometimes very simple, only 4 chords. And this song is just this chord. Then it should be like 3, 1, 5, 5. What key would we really be in here? I guess we go B minor 1. 6, flat 6, 3, 7. There's different ways you can analyze it. Cool song, by the way. Thank you for that request. Let's finish up here with more comments and questions. We're going to try to do quick ones now. Hi, Mia Ann. Hi, Mia. Good to see you again. Leonardo says, I really like the music a lot. It's fun to listen and practice. Thanks. Leonardo, you had a lot of good contributions today. I appreciate it. Jake 2.0, watching from KSA. And looks like Dennis asked, is that Saudi Arabia? I don't recognize that. Dennis, do you recognize the KSA term?
That's what I usually associate it with.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I was just trying to give you a heads up.
Okay, cool. Very neat. Very neat. Okay. So, how are we doing on time? We have 4 minutes left. So, let me see what else I can get through here. Mason says, I played that piece, the Tencho Zuro, last year. That's a cool song. Umbrella by Sia on the flute. Country Roads on the saxophone. Good songs. Why don't we do... I want to do Ali's request. Umbrella by Sia on the flute. And I wonder if this is available on YouTube. Umbrella, Sia, flute sheet music. So this particular song is not on there. So let me listen. Let me listen and figure it out. Wait. Sia does Chandelier and Umbrella is Rihanna. Is that what you meant? Did you mean Umbrella by Rihanna? I thought I recognized that song. Do you mean Umbrella by Rihanna? Let's see if we get lucky and find sheet music for it. Okay. It's not really on here. You know what, Ali, check in with me and let me know if that's what you meant to request. And in the meantime, thank you, Ali. Appreciate it. How about Country Roads on Alto Sax? Country Road. That's a popular song lately, or over the past couple of years. And then, of course, it was a big hit a while ago. Country Roads. Alto Sax. Let me see if we get here. Cool. All right. To hold my saxophone with no neck strap again. Almost heaven. So, okay, so this is in G major for piano, and it's 4 sharps for alto sax, E major. All right, here we go. So what I was doing there towards the end is I was trying to, when I was getting up into my high notes on my alto sax, I was like, oh boy, I'm really playing sharp. That happens a lot on the upper end of your alto sax or saxophones. You can really start to run sharp on your pitch. And I was trying to pull my mouthpiece. By the way, do you guys know when you're tuning your instrument, the correct way to adjust when you're sharp, you make your instrument longer, because if you're sharp, your pitch is too high, it means your instrument is too short. So I pull out my mouthpiece to make my instrument just a minuscule amount longer, and that makes me play a little bit lower in pitch and brings me down into tune. So that's what I was trying to do. Okay, so guys, we are out of time. I really enjoyed, I'm going to put my little Country Roads music on here. Where's my, oh, I got to press play. There we go. Really enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. I want to just say hello to some people in the chat before we go. So to thank you all for being here. Our friend Morphin says that, okay, you're going to attend every week. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Matthew, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Always good to see you. Kaushik, hello. Good to see you here. Thank you very much. Okay, so Ali, next time, if you have a chance to come back, just check in with me and I'll do that song for you, okay? Mason, we'll do more requests for you next time if y'all come back. Y'all, see, Country Roads is playing. I'm saying things like y'all. Dennis, thanks for joining us. I'm glad we were able to hook up the technology and have you here.
Absolutely, it was delightful.
Yeah, another good week, sunny day. At least it's sunny here. But we will, everyone please say thank you to Dennis in the chat. And thanks to Dennis and Teresa and Joe for being here as always. And folks, we will see you next week. Next screen you'll see will be my, how you can contact me on Instagram and email and all that stuff. So thanks everyone. Have a great week. And remember to practice your instrument and come back next week with some more questions and requests. All right. Thanks, folks. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.